Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of DevTips. Alright, now that I got your attention, let's look at our Trello board and see what we got next for today's video. Trello says, make the header responsive. I was so excited because today is the video I've been wanting to do for a very long time, but I haven't really found a good rhythm for it, and it's go back and fix something that I messed up in the start, which is this. Make the header responsive. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. This is what we got right now. Crash. It looks like a train wreck right here, and also right here this word is wrapping. And let me show you another thing. If I do what's this called, an emulation, right? If I turn on the emulator and I'm looking at iPhone 5, so it's 320 pixels wide, you see how this is a problem? The text is too large to even wrap one word, and what's happening is it's going off the canvas and creating this width that it doesn't know what to do with, so you can scroll horizontally, and that's just, for responsive design, that's like a big no-no. That's really, really bad, and I'm embarrassed that we've gone this long without fixing this yet. But today is the day. I'm so excited for that. Let's just jump right in. So the thing that we're going to do to fix this is just write a few media queries, and we're going to go into our header.sass down to the bottom and create a few new lines. At media, max width, and we'll say about 640 pixels. All right, now in the max width, we want to say the first thing we want to do when we let's just bring this in so we can talk about what we want to do. Now I set my media query at 640 pixels, so this should take effect right here. The first thing I want to do is I want to move this logo away from the left side and put it kind of straight in the center, because on a mobile device I want it to kind of be in the center, and then below that be the navigation. So what we're going to do is say a media query header, and then up here I said background position, this is what it is. So let's grab what it is and then talk about how I want to change it. So this is 30 from the left and 20 from the top. And I want it to be 50% from the left and 20 pixels still from the top. Let's save and refresh. Exactly what we wanted. Okay, now I have to move this navigation below it and kind of center it as well. It's right now it's floating off to the right. Okay. So the nav, let's first of all, let's put that under the header, because I think it is up here, and we need to be a little bit, yeah, see, nav header. So it needs to be nav. Okay, so let's make a new item called nav, and let's move it in a little bit, actually, right there. So now it's a child of the header, because up here I say it's a child of the header, and in order for the media query to take place, it needs to be more specific, right? We're using specificity, CSS specificity. Let's see, nav, you need to be float none. All right. Refresh. Okay. So float none reveals a few things about this. First of all, we were only ever using margin instead of padding. So let's go back up to our nav here. Instead of saying margin 30, 30, 0, 0, let's say padding 30, 0, 30, 30, 0, 0. All right, now that's better. Sometimes when you have, margins can break out of the box model, but paddings will keep things nice and tight the way you thought it would. If you ever have this kind of thing where your margins are going outside of its parent, just change that to padding. That'll get you what you want right away. Now, we're no longer floating left, but let's make this navigation. It is a block element. Let's say on the inside should be text line center. Good, looks good, looks good. Okay, now for those paddings, padding top, let's say 80. I like it. Maybe 90. 10 more pixels. Okay, now you see what's happening now. Because it's no longer floated to the left, the navigation is actually affecting that title box that's below it, right, with the H1. So what we have to do is we have to get rid of this. We have this enormous margin on the H1. Where is it? Right here. We have padding top 100. I'll just turn that off. Let's see what we got. That's what we want to do. We're going to turn the padding top off. Padding top off. I don't know. H1 padding top 0 pixels. Okay, so let's stretch this out. Looks good there. Pull it in. Looks good there. Great. Great. Now you see how this this header is a fixed height. It's 400 and something, 450 pixels. Let's just get rid of that. That way the height of the header can be dynamic. So if you want to put something taller in it, it'll just grow, and that's really what we want. So let's refresh, and it's gotten kind of bumped up. So we need to add padding onto that last sentence, or maybe onto the bottom of the header. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Header position padding bottom 50 pixels. The 50 or 100? What do you guys think? 50 is pretty good. Let's close that down. So now the header size, the height of it is dynamic based on, what is it based on the content that's in it. So if this line, this artist theme line breaks, becomes taller, so does our header. Now that's going to be really good if you guys have different length of names, or if you put multiple words in there or something like that. So that's pretty good. The navigation is working, but it's like inlined a little bit. Let's put this in another emulation mode. Turn on that. Okay. Now it's looking pretty good, but no matter what, I mean, you see how this title is still going off. It's one line. I mean, if you have a longer name than artist, then this is going to be a problem on a phone no matter what. All right. Now this would be no problem if you wanted to title your site Jeff. Now you're good. Jeff is in the money business right now. But when we're doing something called artist theme, or if you're doing like the name of your company or your full name or something like that, then this is going to be a problem. But there is a really awesome solution that I'll show you right now. We're going to use a jQuery plugin called fittext. And fittext is created by Trent, Dave, and Regan of Paravel. And they also have another one called lettering.js. But anyway, so fittext is a really awesome jQuery plugin. It's really simple, and what it does is it just kind of expands and contracts the font size of the text you pointed at, so that it can work well in any kind of space, right? Work well in any kind of container that it's in. So let's go to GitHub, and I don't even need to download it. It's so small that I'll just go to jQuery.fittext and I'll just copy it. It's super small. And then I'll go to my JavaScript functions, throw it in at the bottom as is, and then I'll go up to my my document ready declaration and use this line right here. Bam. Okay, so this will be $ instead of jQuery. And the font, okay, so the max font size is the maximum width I'll allow it to grow, and the min font size is the smallest it will grow, but inside there it will stretch and grow depending on the area available to it. So let's go to header and see what our natural size should be. 72 pixels. Copy that and put it as the max font size. And then of course this is not going to be responsive headline ID. It's going to be, what is it going to be? It's going to be header H1. Save. All right, now when we go into our header H1, there it is. It shrunk down right to the space that it should be. And let's take this emulator off. All right, now it's the maximum it's going to be is that 72 that we programmed it as initially, but it will shrink now. See that? It gets smaller with your window. That is so rad, because when you put it on a phone, look at that. Looks great, doesn't it? And everything, it's not going to scroll wide like you know, like it used to. Let me zoom in on that for you guys. Look how great that looks. Right? It's perfectly sized for the phone. For any container that it's in, it's going to look great. Okay, so that concludes our video today. It's just a really quick one, but I wanted to clean up a lot of the stuff in the header. It's really important to me that it looks really nice right the first time the page loads, and so you can get that like first impression points for sure. And also that gets us one step closer to our last video of this series, in which we're going to talk about hosting, and that's next week. Tune in Monday. We'll see you guys there. Keep on hacking, and bye.